Dan.
Tam.
As you can tell from the screen, we're playing Street Fighter 6.
They made 6 of these?
They made 6 of these. They made more than 6 of these, but
Yeah,
the mainline
lot
ones,
more,
they
actually.
made 6, yeah.
Core mainline Street Fighter. We got 6 of them now.
We got 6 of these bad boys, and this one is very, very good. Reviews of this game are obviously out there now, and I've been playing it for a little while, not nearly as much as I wanted to and want to, but so far, man, it's a banger. It's good to have a Street Fighter that's good again.
Dude, I've done a little bit of the story mode, and I've beaten like 2 arcade ladders. But like you, I wish I could have played more than I have so far.
Yeah.
But I'm with you in that like everything I've played is real good so far.
And it's also quite goofy. The story mode itself, we'll go into that, but like that is very goofy. So yeah, so let's like run through the basics of the game for anyone who might be trying to figure out whether this is worth their time and money. Firstly, I'm gonna apologize to everyone. I'm playing with a arcade stick. I'm using the Victrix Pro FS Fight Stick, which they kind of sent over a little while back, so I've been playing with it a while, but it is kind of loud. I do hit buttons hard, so please don't complain. This is the life of a fighting game player.
That's the ambiance.
Yeah, it's the ambiance.
It's a fighting game.
The first thing I love is the music on this the multiplayer menu. I sometimes I just leave it on. It's like really smooth, jazzy, like lo-fi almost. I really
Not everything
love it.
has to be aggressive in a fighting game.
No,
You can get laid
not
back
at
from time
all.
to time.
Not at all. So this is the online space, which is kind of like a hub style thing, which I don't think we can go into now because the servers are down as we're currently recording. Fighting Ground is where all the traditional stuff that you expect is going to be. So we've got the versus team battle stuff, which is multiple characters at the same time, special max. Online is also here. As you can see, it's all locked. But what I want to show off the story mode as well. Maybe we can do a little bit of that afterwards, but it's fairly basic. It's like it doesn't have the full Mortal Kombat style cutscenes and that kind of thing. It's like still images and a very basic story. You can set how many people you want to fight, but it's very no frills. In this area, I think the best thing, the most like evolved part of it is the training mode. Have you played any on the training mode?
I think I did just the very initial thing, but I haven't like dove all the way into that. No.
Yeah, so this is really cool, especially if you're a newcomer or like you just haven't played Street Fighter in a while and you want a kind of quick overview over it. Yeah. So I think this one is like an overall training, which is very useful. I love that they do this.
Make your face,
thing.
do the face stuff.
Yeah, I recently noticed that Ken's got some rough teeth.
Really?
So this is like basic. Yeah, this is just basic standard training mode where you just sit here. It's the lab, but you can come and hang out and like just test your various scenarios and that kind of stuff. And then I like that it's got a nice range of options now.
Oh,
that this is way more than they previously. So the basic stuff is here. You can save and like shortcuts and view tutorials. You can set like where you are, like on the stage, to kind of set up scenarios, which is cool. Like you can, if you're playing Street Fighter 5 on the PS5 at least, you can use a touchpad. So if you press the touchpad in and a direction, you can move yourself to where you want to be on the screen.
Oh,
so if you
that's sharp.
Yeah, so you press left, you'll put you be on the left, so you can test your like left hand side kind of setups and that. Right hand side, up and middle, will put you in the middle again.
Now,
That's
do you know
really
if
cool.
the other versions have any kind of analog for that, or is it PS5?
I think PC will probably have it. Like for example, this stick that I'm using works on PC, so I think if you hit it, it probably will work. I've not tried it, but at the very least, you can just use these to move yourself around. And kind of like get where you need to be. You can also change exactly how the input is from this setting instead of going all the way to the character select again. The what is the dummy settings here? You can set. This is how you like you hit this and you record what you want the dummy to do, and it'll just keep looping it.
Oh, so like a very
really
specific scenario. You can be like,
okay. So you can be like, I want the opponent to jump towards me, do a heavy kick, and then low sweep, and then to defend against it.
You can set the delay and stuff. This is insane.
Yep, it's crazy good. Here as well, you get a lot of the how you want your like various gauges to react. my favorite thing, and this is obviously like what you want to show on screen, you've got like a frame meter now, command display. Command display, I always say you should have on because it shows you exactly what you're inputting and you can tell where you went wrong. Action timing, cancel display, and virtual controller are also like high end or like more advanced stuff. But it's cool. But what I really love is this, the simple training. And it basically is a shortcut to get you a bunch of scenarios that you will often find yourself in a fighting game match. So combo practice is basic. So what that does is it means that it sets the dummy to like, unless you hit in a combo properly, it will block. So if you find the opponent is blocking, that means you're not comboing and the thing you're trying to do doesn't work. So like if I do that instead, that it couldn't block, so that means that I've got a viable combo there, which is really
so that's
cool.
a way to practice against a opponent that
yeah,
is
so
just
if you're like
blocking.
Yeah, and it's also like, is your timing on a string right? Like if I'm doing this, I'm trying to figure out that string and I'm doing that, you know that you're going too slow, so you spend a lot of time doing this and then you're like, okay, I get it. The timing is different.
I feel like with all of these training settings and everything, it seems like it's trying to be accommodating to every, like the whole spectrum of fighting game experience, where it's like, if you want to get nitty gritty and do all this incredibly specific stuff, you can, but also, as I'm sure you'll go into later, you know, the modern control settings make it very accessible to newcomers.
Yeah, so it kind of reminds me of, I think MK10 did, or MK9, one of them had like a really quite a robust suite of like training stuff, and it feels like they finally Street Fighter have caught up to that and gone a bit further as well, which is great. So the other stuff you can do is anti-air practice, which is like, it's going to set the character to jump to teach you how to deal with anti-air kind of approaches, so you get comfortable with like reacting to like someone who's in the air, going to jump at you constantly.
Jeez.
Which is wonderful.
Yeah, that seems like the training room from 4,
Yeah.
but it's just like the options seem to go a lot deeper.
So this is offensive, where the enemy will attack you back, so that if you're not applying heavy pressure, the enemy will hit you back. So it's teaching you how to like make sure that you're always keeping them on the back foot. Throw escape is real good. It will like, the character will just come up to you and throw you constantly, like this.
No, is it the same escape
Oh,
thing where it's like,
yeah.
is it kind of the guessing game where you have to match the same button?
Yes, so you basically have to do the, you have to hit the throw button at the same time as they do. I don't know, for some reason it's not. He's not doing it, he's being a chief. I think you have to just be better with the timing. Whiff punish is good as well. So whiff punish is basically like finding the right timing to kind of strike back. But you just need to make sure that you have the right distance to ensure that you're missing and then hitting back. So yeah, you've got like a bunch of these. Frame meter and you is good. It'll teach you exactly how to use the frame meter, which is really cool. So this is the stuff that is like, you're going to be your bread and butter if you're kind of new to this and you want to kind of get super familiar with the mechanics and really work on your settings. Character guides are good because they teach you. You got the tutorials which will break down like the general concepts of a fighting game. And
yeah, I think I did the like beginner ones here. Like I just did the like very basic, like, oh, here's what these new meters do and everything. You know?
Yeah, and then character guides are more like character specific, where it will show you, it will run you through the specific characters tutorials to be like, here's how you generally play this character. And then combo trials is where you want to kind of get super familiar with how these characters play. So we'll do a few of these, and this is like more specific to like, oh, this is these are the moves that you want to, are your bread and butter for like Ken, for example. So this is like a good place to be when you want to get really familiar with a single character. It teaches you the basics of what their tool set are.
And what is that meter above Ken's head right now?
So I think that's the frame timing thing. It's not essential. But it's like one of those, I think it's the frame timing one anyway. It's like one of those extra things where it's like, oh, I know exactly when I need to hit back, I believe. I don't
once
use
it's
it
on the
very
left
much.
of that line, basically?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that quick flash of green at the end.
Yeah, I don't use it very much, so I might be wrong on that. I actually find it quite distracting. I was meant to turn it off. Okay. So this is the kind of like the major mechanic for this game, the drive impact gauge, however you want to call it. So it kind of reminds me of the focus attack from 4.
That was the like inky attack from that could like break through a block, right?
Inky attack, and it's the main thing for this game, and it gives it like way more kind of flexibility. That was the problem with like Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 5 felt quite rigid with its V skill system. When they first started, anyway, it was definitely felt rigid, but they evolved it over time. And it got there. It got a lot better, but it still had it didn't feel good for a lot of time. For a lot of the time it was out. This already feels like a more fluid game because they've got the V system, the drive, different various drive attacks. Like this is a big one where it's like helps you with offensive stuff, and then the other one is like it's got like this dash. It's got a parry system. The dash system is huge because then you can like cancel out certain abilities, like for example not that one. You can do this, so like I'm hit confirming into a run.
Jeez.
Like that.
Well, now, so the drive system, is that, because I remember like with the focus, it could eat a move and not get interrupted. Is that similar here?
So it does a very similar thing, but obviously the other player can also, if they see a drive, they can activate their one, and it becomes that, that Tekken, end of a Tekken fight, recent Tekken games anyway, where like there's slow zoom.
Hell yeah.
So they basically have that, which is wonderful. And it's like adds a little dramatic kind of flourish to it. So this stuff is really cool. Like you just get to kind of like go through all of the fundamentals to each character, and then it does get really complicated. Let me go to the final one, which I have done, but is a constant pain in my ass. I always like screw it up somehow. What is this one?
And now, is this character specific what you're doing now, or is this a challenge?
Yeah, so this is just Ken.
Okay. Do you have to hit all those on the left?
Yep.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah!
I think that's it. Yeah, there you go.
Nice. God, this game looks good.
It looks so nice. I think it's Unreal
Just look
Engine,
at this.
which is it's a good kind of like use of that. And this is go to the final one. I think this is the little kick one. Yes, this one is so annoying. Honestly, I've spent an hour on this one. I did it, but every time I do it, it like annoys the shit out of me. See, there's this. So
during
this
the Jinrai kick. Okay,
so
you do
this is what I need to activate. I can do it here, but in the middle of a combo, it's tricky because the timing is really weird, and I need it to hit like very late, but like that. But the kind of like it's basically, it feels like you've got a single frame to hit it at the right time, and too early and you'll miss, too late and it won't come out. It will do this, and it will do like this instead.
Oh boy.
That.
And
so
then
it's
you gotta
like
nail 2 after that?
Then you've got to do 2 Shoryukens after that, which is like really difficult. So I'll give it a go. Nope.
Damn it.
See.
Oh man.
This has been my evenings. I swear to God, I feel sorry for my neighbors who can just hear me like smashing buttons.
I feel sorry for your hands.
Oh mate, I was telling Jan and you earlier, I've got like severe RSI in this hand from playing fighting games.
I never RSA. Is it repetitive stress injury?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's probably like what I was having with the Tyson stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, 100% was that.
It sucks.
Yeah, it hurts really bad, and I got it from fighting games, from hitting buttons in fighting games too hard, and now it's like back with. And I think I can say it's between this and Diablo as well, because Diablo.
Lots of clicking
right now. Lots of clicking. Lots of clicking.
Hey, we should speedrun Punch Out too. Throw that in.
Yeah.
Oh, yes! Oh, god damn it!
It's the second one. It's the second one. The timing is really strict. I'm like terrible with timing that second. So you can. I'm also terrible at like nailing this combo if I'm talking. So
how often would you attempt something like this combo in a actual fight?
I wouldn't do this one. I think because the timing is so hard. But I think I would do. If I can get it, I would probably do this one. I know.
Ooh, very nice.
No, that's not the one I want.
Which one of these dudes aged better?
Oh, 100%. I was gonna say Ken, but Ryu's probably an age better. Ken's teeth are a bit weird right now.
I was thinking Ryu, yeah.
So I'd do... I can get it.
Oh, damn.
I still need to spend more time practicing the timing on this. It's so tight.
I don't know if it's just Discord, but like I know how loud arcade sticks are. And
you can't hear it?
I'm not hearing any of it.
That's wild. Good on you, Discord.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this if it's the last thing I do.
6-hour quick look.
Yeah, this is it.
This is a quick look?
This is a quick one? Oh, God. Oh, my God. I've done this so many times.
I don't know. Pixar didn't happen.
Yeah. So I would end it with... If I can get it. Nope.
Jesus. Now, could you accomplish these goals? Like, can you use the modern control system, like that Y button stuff, or does that not really apply here?
I think it has a separate set of what the inputs are different. I'll switch over to it now shortly. Oh, if I can. Ah,
That seems so frustrating.
that's what I do. So if I can put that together, it would be
pretty cool.
It's also like small things change it because I'm used to sitting on my couch or my other seat, and because of the angle I sit at there, the arcade stick is at a very specific angle, and now I'm sitting at my desk and
So
the chair is different,
memory.
so my leg is like lower, so the stick is angled in a different way, and like I keep like missing the buttons as well.
That'll throw it all off, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's do. I'm gonna give myself 5 attempts to do this. Not this one,
right.
the one I would do.
Okay.
1. 2. I need to go later. 3. 4. This is it. No, 5.
No,
one more.
damn it.
One more.
This is how it goes. Maybe this is where that meter comes in.
God damn it. But you can see what I'm saying. This is This is my obsession where I sit there and I'll like do stuff like this.
I know this feeling that you're feeling right now.
Yeah.
The one more. Well, that one didn't count.
One more. Yeah. But the beauty of this system is like this. The drive rush is like so versatile. I love it so much because you can like, it really like allows you to go from like offense or defense to offense so much. So when you're doing like the ground game and you know the Ryu does a punish or like it tries to use a move and it misses and you're like using footsies and you hit that. That's like in a previous Street Fighter, like Street Fighter 5, there's not a lot you could do after this, like those kind of stuff. These days you can like turn anything or a simple move like that into an offensive rush. So it's like, and then you're right in their face, which is like so much. It brings so much more like versatility and like excitement to the actual, the watching and playing of the game, and it's just so much fun.
Now, does the rush operate the same for pretty much every character?
Yes, it's a universal mechanic.
Okay.
So it works for pretty much everyone. Okay, let me switch to the other style control setting. Oh, you can't switch it here, so let's go to change character. Modern. So it should give me, yeah, so it's, I don't know what this means, man. So it's got, oh, there, so this is the medium button, I assume.
So is it changing your entire button layout?
So like the reason I'm struggling is because I don't know where the buttons are. So this is like a separate thing. So it's got its own set of trials, character-specific trials, if you're playing with modern controls.
Well, I notice here that it's just saying light and it's not indicating punch or kick, whereas before it was saying the traditional. So is it the traditional 6-button layout when you do classic?
No, it is not. So I think you have like just 2 attack buttons that like basic light and other heavy attack buttons, but then everything else is like automated, I think. So like,
sorry, I mean in classic, what you were doing before, is that the 6-button classic layout?
Oh yeah. The classic is the 6-button layout. So right now I'm just pressing one button, and it's neutral. Bottom left says neutral special. So it's like I think. I always liken it to Capcom versus SNK 2 EO on the Xbox.
Yeah, with the sticks.
Yeah, which is a stick. So you just flick the stick, and press a button. So like I'm hitting forward in the special button just to do the dragon punch. Between down and special punch on loan, and then you've got like the various other buttons to give you a little more versatility and freedom. I find it confusing and I don't like it. And every now and then it like switches on its own to one of these things, and I'm like, what is happening? When I first started playing the World Tour mode, it's set to that by default, and I was like, what is going on? What is this mode?
Yeah, I started the World Tour mode and I think it defaulted to that, and I'm like, this is fucking me up not having separate punches and kicks, you know?
Yeah, and then eventually I realized, oh, it's got that whole thing. Let's go into World Tour mode a little bit.
Now, online, does it have different lobbies for classic and modern controls?
I think it doesn't. I think it just tells you.
Okay.
Like this person is. So I didn't get to play it online as much as I wanted to, but mainly because of the timing. It's like very specific. You had to be on it at a certain time. And I wasn't able to. I played a little bit. I think it just tells you. If it's like previous or other fighting games, it just is like, hey, this person's using classic and modern controls. And it just lets you kind of be like, all right, cool.
Do you feel like that would give them an unfair advantage, or would like a good player on classic be able to still destroy them?
I feel like if you're someone who plays a decent amount of fighting games and you're complaining that another person's on modern controls, you need to grow up and just get better. Like if you're losing to someone who's got modern, like it's not any really different like from a execution standpoint. Like if you didn't know that person was using modern, you'd just think they're just a really good player. Like they're executing things at the right time. It's not like it gives you like shortcuts in the frames, or like advantages in frames and that kind of stuff. You're still dealing with the same situations.
That's a good point.
It's just a matter of like, oh, you just need to be better about knowing that this player can consistently pull out a Shoryuken if you jump. So you know to like, oh, I'm gonna start, faking jump scenarios and trying to mess up the anti-air game.
Gotcha.
So yeah, now we're in the open world kind of World Tour mode, which is really fun. We're in Metro City. This is the main hub. I will say playing this on a arcade stick is tricky because you have to hold down a button to rotate the camera.
Yeah, it's like RB for me. I'm playing on a stick too, and it's like, okay, that's weird.
It's a bit wacky. Whereas the thing you can do is it's really weird, but like I've currently got a stick plugged in, but if I also turn on my controller like that and make it be like second player, I can use a stick while also using.
That's awkward as hell.
Okay, it's so weird. So like right now I'm running
arcade stick and you've got a controller next to you.
Yeah. So now I can use this to like walk up to different players and or characters, and like I can challenge with this, and then I'll switch to this to play like the actual fight.
I gotta say, one of my favorite things about this mode is that speed you just saw of like going up to someone, hitting one button, and then like no load screen, just completely seamless, just like now we're fighting.
Yeah, that is the kind of magic of this mode. But as you can tell, it takes quite a severe performance hit when you do it. I don't know
noticed that. Yeah.
I'm sure you have that. I think that's like pretty much universal, but and it is rough, but also it kind of is. It's kind of doing a weird, interesting thing here, where most people on the street, like, they have an icon over their head that means that you can just fight them, and it turns exactly where you're standing into the stage, and the people around you will gather around to be like the background in the stage, which is
I never noticed
pretty
that.
cool. But obviously, like, it goes from like this, which is running smoothly, and I'll fight this shopkeeper. And it goes into like a really rough looking kind of, it doesn't feel good as well, like smooth. The moment it starts, you can see like how it's very framey and weird.
Do you have performance mode turned on?
That's the way you solve it.
Yeah.
I think if you turn performance mode, it's like fine. But I didn't know that for a really long time.
It seems broken at first. And
Yeah.
Like, okay, I really got to turn that on.
Also, like, my character, this is a different character and then the one I actually have is like a weird character that has Chun-Li's bird kick, but some of Luke's moves as well. That's the fun of this game. Like, I'm still chasing the high of Soul Calibur's World Tour.
Dude, the first one, the Dreamcast one? Yes, absolutely. The map with all the like weird objectives and like, oh, here's a skinny stage, knock off 10 lizard mans and stuff. Yeah, that's the best one I've ever played.
Yeah, I think so. Does Soul Calibur 2 have it? Soul Calibur 2 also has it, right?
Future ones had similar things, but it was never quite as in depth and had all the fun, like art gallery and purchasables and things like that. Like that first one was my favorite one.
Yeah, and this isn't that kind, but it is a weirdly like robust RPG game as well. So like you've got this city, you can go and fight random characters for like EXP. There's like random battles as well, so like that dude level 22. I'm gonna get my ass kicked by this dude.
Oh, we got two of them. Two accounts.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be super cheap and spinning bird kick it.
Yeah. Jeez. I like how it's Metro City. That's appropriate.
Yeah. You do go to some other locations as well.
Nice.
But none of them are like as fleshed out as Metro City. They're just like, oh, you pop to this country to fight this dude, who you may remember from X game.
Well, it's just Times Square. They're not even trying to hide it.
Yeah. And yeah, so you do. I ran too far away. Get out of the way, man. So you have like shops here where it's like, oh, you need to go to buy clothes. And for some reason in this Street Fighter game, when you buy clothes, it changes your like stats. So I'm wearing these boots purely not because they're aesthetically pleasing, but because they like improved my kick ability. And I was like, well, I'm using spinning bird kicks a lot, so maybe I should use this. It looks awful, but
can you do the Diablo thing? Like a lot of games have the thing where it's like, okay, well, you're gonna change the cosmetics of this, but it'll keep the stats of this.
You can. There is like a system for that. I've not explored it a lot, but you can like change the color of stuff with dyes. I don't think you can change like make one item look like another item, like transmog style.
Right.
But you can change it so he's not wearing the black boots, like he's stolen it off some person immediately. But yeah, this whole thing is really interesting because it is a fully fleshed out world. Like the story in it is very forgettable. Like it's completely pointless. And oh,
Those
got
TV
these like
guys.
weird nerds who are like, oh, there's Luke's ability. The story is rubbish, but like it's also very goofy because the whole thing is like you're a newcomer, you like get picked up by Luke, who's going to be your like trainer, and then you're assigned Bosch, who's like a fighting your rival. He's your Gary Oak basically for this game, and he like pops up every now and then for you to be like fight with or against. And then otherwise, it's like you're just doing missions. You'll go to different parts of the city and find there's an influencer.
No, we can't.
Influencer?
That's not a word.
Yeah.
That's making this up, right?
He's basically a YouTuber,
Okay.
and he's like, I'm gonna follow you around and record you, and like he's on his t-shirt, FooTube.
Big Foo Fighters fan.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna turn. He's basically using you as a content farm, which is pretty shitty, honestly. He's an MCN. He's like
All right.
on my ass about it. So yeah, he was there. Like he was there when I was fighting the Mad Gear Gang, who you may remember from Final Fight. They're everywhere around here. So let me see if I can find her. The main thing you do is there are quests, but the main kind of structure. Oh, it's Mario. The main structure is you kind of find these masters. You know, I'm just trying to live my life. God, what? Whoa. Nice try.
I like how weird this is.
Yeah, it's like, it's dumb because clearly they put boxes on these characters' heads so they don't have to render faces for literally everyone, but it's also kind of funny. Where it's like, I've got a bunch of these weird box-headed, I got beaten up, box-headed people to fight. The other thing is like your health bar is persistent, so you have to go and eat if you want to recover your health. So
yeah, there's like takeout stuff, and isn't there stuff you can do like during fights?
Yeah, so like you can buy stuff from like this lad, and some of it is like, I'll when I buy it here, it will instantly refill my vitality. Some of it is like, it's like Yakuza basically, where it's like, I've got this burger that's gonna increase my abilities for like 10 minutes or something like that. I'm gonna bust it out in the middle of a fight, and that will give you like bonuses or.
That's what burgers do to me.
Yeah, improves your power for a little while. Let's see if I can actually make it to where I want it to go, and show you what happens. I've not been run over by a car yet, which is interesting.
Now, when you buy clothes, are you able to like swap those in and out at any point, or do you have to be in like a dressing room?
No, I think you need to go to the box. You have to go to the clothes store.
Okay.
I'm gonna spinning bird kick spam this. Hello?
So I assume like your meter gets upgraded as you play through the mode, right? Because you just have these 3 pips right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like your battery in Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, yeah. Everything, all roads lead back to Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh yeah, yes.
God, who's died?
I had that same Luke throw, and it's the most boring throw, just that like quick little takedown.
So we are currently leveled up. We are currently. Oh my god! Don't fight me. I just want to go and see my friend. Okay.
Punching you in the lower back.
In my
sucks.
gut checked me in my ass.
I don't know if it's a gut check at that point.
Yeah, butt check.
Yeah.
This will keep you in place.
Now, this kind of like 2-on-1 type thing, do you see this pop up in other modes at all, or is that World Tour specific?
I don't believe so. I think it's World Tour specific. It's funny because Street Fighter 03, Alpha 3, whatever you called it, had a World Tour mode. And it was very much this, kind of, but like more on a like a map-based system where you would fight characters over and over again and level up and give your character new abilities. And in that game as well, you'd have do like 2-on-1 fights. They were called dramatic battles.
Okay.
So it's kind of bringing that back from the old days. Oh, I came all the way here. She's not even here. Great.
Usually your ass kicked a few times.
Yeah, usually Chun-Li's here. And the system is obviously like you find these characters that are the mainline cast around the world. And when you speak to them, you basically enroll as their student. And generally, there's like a set of quests that you do for them. Some of them are like, hey, I need you to go and do this XYZ thing. Or others will be like, hey, just fight me. And when you do that, you either complete the quest chain or beat them in a fight. You basically earn their movesets or a section of their moveset. And then you can go into, here, isn't it? You can go into your status and like here. Oh, you can switch out stuff pretty easily here. And then you can go into like special moves and change what you've got assigned. I've only got 3 slots assigned, but this is basically like, oh, I'm gonna have the Flash Knuckle. So I've only done, in this character, I've only done Luke and Chun-Li. So I've assigned Luke's Flash Knuckle, Rising Uppercut, and Chun-Li's Spinning Bird Kick, which is this weird chimera of a character that I put together. Because you can see I've got 2 masters only here right now.
I kind of like that. Like, it reminds me of, do you ever play that Mortal Kombat Deception story mode with Shujinko? And he would get like, okay, so I've got Liu Kang's Fireball, but then I've got Sub-Zero's whatever. Like, I kind of like that mishmash character.
You know, do you want a little Mortal Kombat fact for that? You know
Please.
what the word Shujinko means?
No.
It means protagonist or hero. And obviously he was the main hero of that game, so they called him Shujinko.
Fucking Ed Boon.
Yeah, he loved
Genius.
it. Genius. So this is like the RPG skill tree system, where it's like you get like skill points that you can dump into various kind of attributes more than you don't unlock abilities here. That comes through the other master and like student system. This is like more like just upgrading your health and your throw strength and that kind of stuff. And the game right at the start is like, don't fret too much about like the decisions. You will be able to unlock everything. It'll be fine. So it's just about like kind of working through this stuff. I think it expands. I've not actually seen more than this. This is fairly basic, but I think it does get bigger and change. And then you've got like your item system here where you can eat stuff and I don't know, recover vitality, whatever. You also get like key items, which is
That feels very Yakuza. Like, this type of situation
feel like
here.
Yakuza.
Yeah.
And here's like your mission list. So far I beat up a bunch of people. And now I'm about to. I wonder if we can try and do like the main mission right now. I've been waiting until nighttime so I could ambush someone. I think it's the Mad Gear gang.
You're gonna punch them in the ass.
Yeah, Mad Gear needs to get punched in the ass. I think I need to go chat to Officer Tyrone Reed for some reason. Dude is huge. Holy shit. It's that Big Show.
Yes. Oh my god.
So I'm looking for this guy. So Bosch did a heist basically, and I'm trying to get him out of trouble.
That's Paul Blart.
Yeah. Paul Blart, Metro Cop. It's one of those quests where it's like you need to speak to 10 people. Alright. Officer Billy Kid, let's go. All American.
Good mustache.
That is a great mustache. Okay, so we've done that. Oh, God. The other thing you can do is like you can do these moves, some of your moves in the actual like world, which is quite funny to me.
To what effect?
So like, so let's say, like, watch this.
Like, can you like Paper Mario your way into like getting the first hit? Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. So did that damage factor?
Yeah.
Nice. It's Paper Mario.
Bizarrely, there's also platforming. So like, if I was trying to jump from one rooftop to another, I could use the spinning bird kick to get me across it.
That's fucked up.
It is so weird. Let me see. I think I saw like a climbable ladder here somewhere. I wonder if I can go up it. Oh no, maybe not. I thought I saw one here, but it's gone. But yeah, you can do like weird shit like that. Where it's like,
I appreciate this. Because, you know, there's always going to be the core fighting, and there's always going to be the arcade mode and the online play and stuff, and like that stuff all looks incredible. This is just kind of a cherry on top. That like there's this weird mode that you can do just solo if you want to.
Big statue of Hagar over there.
Nice.
I think it really works for people who. The tricky part of Street Fighter, obviously, is like in the older games, like if you weren't someone who liked to really get into the competitive side, that's Chun-Li. Actually,
oh yeah.
If you weren't someone who liked to get into the competitive side of playing, you had kind of limited kind of options to you. It was like you play the arcade mode, and modern day arcade mode stuff is like not particularly good, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
that's why I appreciate like the NetherRealm approach in recent entries, is because like that just feels like, you know, I've never been a competitive level fighting game player. I've always liked just messing around with fighting games. I'm never gonna like that combo you were trying to pull off earlier. Probably not gonna be spending much time trying to do that. But I like having something to do that doesn't require me to be super good at the game, and this is that, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It gives like people who don't want to spend a bunch of time learning moves and figuring out setups and that kind of business. The ability to just have some other fun. Can't get through here anymore. That sucks. Which is a really smart thing. I'm one of those weirdos that really loves the story and world of Street Fighter, and I still don't think that they've like made good on that in a way that, in the same way that MK does. Like, Mortal Kombat is now like the standard bearer for like,
yes,
narrative in fighting games, and the way it takes its own world kind of not seriously, but it kind of makes the most of it, if you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, they're not like, it's completely ridiculous, but it's not constantly like winking at the camera and being like, we're being wacky. Like, it takes itself seriously, which I appreciate.
Exactly. Kano is very serious about being a shitty person.
Yes.
And I wish Street Fighter did that. I would love to see like a game where, the characters of Street Fighter and the story of Street Fighter is actually told well.
Yeah.
This isn't that, but at the very least, it's a story. And that's something that like 5 hasn't had. Even 4 to a large degree was a bit not great with how it approached story. And this is a step up, but I hope that I would have loved for them to update this with like more actual involved story. I want them to hire a writer to tell their Street Fighter story. Like,
is this your application, Tam?
I will 100% do it. I have been reading Street Fighter comics and watching the animated TV series and the movies, and like I think they should just go and like watch Street Fighter 2V, which is like an old animated TV series. It's like 60 episodes or something. Just adapt that. It's got
even the things that aren't fully Mortal Kombat, like Tekken handles stories so much better than Street Fighter.
Tekken is incredible.
Yeah.
Alright, let's talk to this person.
And if those are the big 3 this year, is Tekken, Mortal Kombat, and Street Fighter definitely is the one that's most lacking in story. I mean, I haven't played the 2 new Mortal Kombat and Tekkens, but I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of good story stuff in that.
Yeah, that is the case, and like previous years, you could even argue like Street Fighter was lacking in some of its gameplay compared to Mortal Kombat and Tekken. Like Street Fighter has always been my fighting game of choice, but even I was like 5 it left me wanting in a lot of ways. And then like the arcade and championship editions improved significantly. But at the end of the day, like the story of Street Fighter 5 was written fairly early in its release, and the story was like it was kind of not. It had a lot to kind of do on the gameplay side. That is not the case with Street Fighter 6. Like right out of the gate, it is easily one of the most enjoyable fighting games I've played in a long time. It's easily one of the best Street Fighter games in a long time. Outside of like Third Strike and like stuff like CVS2, I've had a lot of fun playing this game, and I think when it comes to fighting games, like it gets the fundamentals of what it needs to do to give itself longevity and a future in the kind of like competitive world. It does all that really well, while also being one of those kind of games in the old school days where you'd like just call a few friends over and throw on a fighting game and just have some fun with it. This is very much that kind of game. You can immediately hit buttons and feel good, and also if you want to spend a lot of time getting like super sweaty with it, you can as well. So all in all, like a really fantastic Street Fighter game. Hats off to Capcom, honestly.
Yeah, and especially after 5, like, it bummed me out because 4 was the one I played the most. I loved 2 back in the day, but 4 I got pretty obsessed with. And so I was super excited for 5, and I just remember that launch was so kind of bungled. I remember people just, I forget what specifically it was lacking, or if the new characters were bad or something, but I barely touched 5 after loving 4. So like I'm thinking this one might get me back into it.
Yeah, so quickly run through the arcade. So you can pick here, you can set yourself to 5 stages, 12 stages. We can probably do this relatively quickly. And this is how the story plays out. So Ken is a terrorist, FYI. Like he's been framed, but he is known as an international terrorist now. Look, former National Martyrs champion turns terrorist. Provides funding to an anti-government. He tried to be a philanthropist. Yeah, he tried to be a philanthropist, and it went very wrong.
That's about as wrong as it could go, I think.
Yeah, and you can tell this is like stressful because this is good teeth, Ken.
Oh yeah, okay.
If I ever get caught for terrorism, this is how I want to look when I get arrested.
Just ripped.
Just ripped as fuck. Just like, come at me.
Slacks with a belt, no shirt.
Yeah, no shirt. What is the scenario where they catch this terrorist and they're like, "We got him."
Yeah.
His shirt is off.
He had dress pants on, but no shirt.
Yeah, and like this is where he is now. He's Hobo Ken. There's no indication that his wife and kids are still around. Obviously, he's married to Guile's sister, which means that there's probably some tension there as well.
That's awkward. Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I remembering right? Is Paul like a hobo in Tekken 8?
Oh yeah, Paul's been a hobo for a little while as well.
Okay.
God. Ken, this is perhaps the best indication of how different this is from like previous Street Fighter 5. Ken looks great in this game. A massive controversy in Street Fighter 5 was how fucked up Ken looked. Because his face was a problem in that game, and they tried like patching his face a whole bunch of times. And it was
wow!
like,
I'm looking at it
yeah,
now. That doesn't look like Ken.
Yeah, it did not look like Ken, and it was like it was really funny, because it was like, oh, people were just upset about Ken. By the way,
I'm seeing like PC mods and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
people like
here's a
fixing
Smash
his
Brothers
face
model.
everywhere. Yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah, he looks messed up.
I'm not paying attention, and Chun-Li is wiping the floor with me. As always, a computer will do some heavy use of input reading in this game. So like, it knows when you hit jump, it knows you hit jump. Don't worry about it, and it will react perfectly.
I like what they've done with the classic characters too, because like that's something that kind of turned me off with. I remember 3 back in the day, and then also I think 5 to a lesser extent. It's just like it's either not as many classic characters as I would like, or too much focus on new characters. This one has a really good mix, I think, of new characters and like, well, here's the classics, but also they have some fun new looks, you know.
Yeah. Another little bit of trivia for you. Ken is wearing a jacket which says ESC in it. I think that's a shipping company that belongs to Eagle. Remember Eagle? He's a character from Street Fighter 1. He's one of the original like roster of Street Fighter characters.
I think I just play the even numbered ones. 2, 4, and this are the ones I've like really spent time with.
Eagle was in Street Fighter 1. Then he reappeared in Capcom vs SNK 2. I think he was in one of the Final Fight games, and then I think they put him into the PSP version of Street Fighter Alpha 3, along with Karen. So that's a bit of lore. I don't know why he's wearing an Eagle.
This dude. Yeah, I remember this dude from like SNK. Yeah. Okay, I recognize this dude. You like Luke?
I don't like how how much faith Capcom is putting in Luke as a character, because they're like, Luke is the future of Street Fighter, and I'm like, is he? It's kind of annoying.
I mean, he's front and center. He is the whole box art.
Yeah, it's really weird. Where I'm like, why would you put this guy as the future of Street Fighter when you have one of the most recognizable video game characters in the entire industry in Ryu, and even Ken to a degree.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, in terms of like most instantly recognizable fighting game characters, it's got to be like top 3. Got to be like what, Ryu, Sub-Zero, you think?
Scorpion probably.
Scorpion above Sub-Zero?
I would take Scorpion above Sub-Zero.
I could see it.
Scorpion above Sub-Zero.
Scorpion, Ryu, and is anyone in Tekken like mainstream in the way that like I don't think like Kazuya people know the way they know Ryu, you know?
Jin probably. Maybe I would have said Martial Law back in the day, maybe Tekken 3 days, because he was the easiest person to play with.
Sure.
But I think these days, it probably is Jin or Kazuya. Or
honestly, there's probably a lot of Mortal Kombat. Like I'm sure like Liu Kang is above a lot of those guys, you know? So, I love that this is just a big ass.
Yeah, this is what I want to show off. We won't do the entire thing, but they brought this back, which is wonderful. I'm very happy that they did this.
It seems kind of easy. I've like beat the shit out of it each time.
Yeah, I think the thing that it does is like after a little while, if you've done enough damage, it will do overkill and it will like freeze the time to just let you kind of finish it off. And I like that. It's like it speaks to their ethos where it's like, let's just make sure that people are having fun and let's not put a timer on this thing, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, that was always a fun bonus game.
Yeah. There you have it. I think that's a good summation of Street Fighter 6. really fun game, really versatile game. A lot of depth to it, but also you can just pick it up and have a lot of immediate good times with it. So highly recommend. What about you, Dan? You enjoying it? Yeah.
I really am. I sure I've played a fraction of what you've played. I maybe put an hour and a half in so far, but I really do want to sit down and play with some friends and spend more time with the story mode. But everything I've seen and heard so far has been excellent.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna go back into that trial mode and continue trying to do that thing, that one combo again.
Just one more time. One more time.
But thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you in the next one.